Hello, Facebook, what's up? All right, we're gonna see how my light is today, and we're doing and sorry I look terrible, it just worked out, but we're doing my test of, is it the white wall that makes my videos go blurry, or is it my internet? So I am disconnected from the internet at my house, and we're gonna see if this works better than they usually do. So when you guys jump on, give me a hello, give me a hi, tell me what you're doing today. We're getting really close to Christmas. It's crazy, but so what I want to talk about today is the idea that you can't think your way out of it. Okay, so I have two stories for you. So I was just listening to a gal who's kind of like a motivational speaker, like how do you whatever, and it's the first time I had listened to her, and although she had some really good information, I'm listening to her and I'm just like, but that's not all, right? That's not all. And like literally thinking about it, you guys, she's probably saying the same stuff I was saying a year ago, right? So a year ago, if you go back and watch my videos, which I'll probably go do just out of curiosity, you know, I was saying a lot of the same things. Like if we want to get to where we're going in life, it's all about mindset. We just have to get our thoughts right. We have to do I am statements. Like we just have to do all that and it's going to work, right? And I really thought that was the answer. Like I really did. And it would work for me for short periods. And, you know, it was like, okay, positive affirmations, yada, yada, yada. And all those things are super important. I'm not saying that. But the truth of the matter is until we actually learn how to feel again and really understand like what's going on, we can be disconnected. Everything in our head, we can say all the positive things, we can whatever. But the truth of the matter is, you guys, you've heard me say this before, is that our brain is rooted in fear. So for so many of us, we're completely disconnected from our body. We don't know what our intuition is telling us. We don't understand the sensations. So when I say sensations, if I said, what does anxiety feel like? What does anxiousness feel like in your body? What does excitement feel like? If you sat there for a second, you could probably go, okay, to me anxiety, and everybody feels different, but to me anxiety and excitement almost feel the same, right? It's like, and I can almost feel it right now, right? I get this like tightening in my chest and my heart beats faster. And so for me, anxiety feels really like I'm compressing in, and anxiousness, hi Rosie, is the expansion of that. But that sensation, or if somebody tells you bad news, right? Like you probably get a gut feeling, you get that ugh in your stomach, right? So that's what I mean when I say get back to connecting with your body and understanding those sensations, okay? So there's so much that goes on up here, which for most of us, that's what we listen to all the time, is we listen to our brain, we listen to our thoughts, which are rooted in fear. And we're like, okay, I can just change my thoughts, I can change my thoughts, I can change my thoughts. You're not gonna change your thoughts until you start listening to your body, until you start actually understanding what those sensations mean. And then you start rewriting the story about those sensations, okay? So mindset is amazing and your mind can do awesome things, but if there's a disconnection from how you feel and what you're thinking, how you feel is always gonna take over, right? And for so many of us, and that was me, I felt like I was walking around numb, right? I was like, I can think my way out of this, I can learn my way out of this. And for me, it was mostly the eating disorder thing, but it's also in my business, right? Like I can think my way out of this, I can learn my way out of this, I can do it. And then fear always comes in, right? Fear is always gonna win. Your brain wants to keep you safe and it wants to keep you secure. So if all you're doing is working on what's going on up here, you are never gonna make massive change, because the truth of the matter is, to make change, we have to start to identify and then change the belief system that we have. So like when I started Hunger for Happiness, we were, you know, looking at our actions and that kind of stuff. And it was like, okay, what are your underlying beliefs? And I was like, I don't know. Like I had a really hard time with stuff. And what it turns out is that I have an unworthiness wound, which I'm not gonna lie, you guys, 99% of us do to some degree. This all comes from childhood, but it is what it is. And so when I started to realize like, okay, that unworthiness wound was playing into a lot of the things that I was doing or not doing, I have to learn that I have to rewrite that behavior, right? Still, I'm gonna work on that probably forever, as most of us will, but if we don't know what the belief is, we can change the thought, right? My brain wants me to eat and eat and eat some more. Like we can change our thoughts, but until we change the belief and the feeling and the story that comes with those thoughts, we're gonna always end up self-sabotaging. We're gonna end up back where we were. So I want you guys to take some time and really think about, okay, what are your patterns? What are your habits? And why do you end up going back to what you were doing? And it's because that underlying belief, which is hard to get to and it'll take some time for you to figure it out, you have to change that belief before it matters if you change your thoughts, okay? So yes, we gotta change the belief, then we change the thought, the feeling, the action, the result. So the other part I wanted to say was like, I love mindset stuff, but I actually don't think mindset is really what we all call it to be. So really it's mindfulness. Hey Josh. So it's mindfulness. Like, what are you thinking? What are the feelings that are attached to that? What's the underlying belief? And how do we rewrite that story? So if we can take, like, let's take the sensation of anxiety or the tightness in your chest, and you're like, oh, I'm anxious. I'm an anxious person. Well, A, don't identify yourself as an anxious person. You're feeling anxiety. But what if you can say, no, like, let's put it in an athlete standpoint. You're going to do a competition and you're super nervous. And so you start to get that feeling. It's anxiety, it's anxiousness, it's nerves, it's whatever. But what if we start to rewrite that story so that our brain says, oh, that sensation means I'm excited. It means I'm going to go compete. It means all the work I put into, now it's go time, right? Versus the other side of that, which is the fear side, is, oh, I didn't train enough. Now I'm nervous. Dude, this girl beside me looks so buff, like she's totally gonna win. I've done that so many times. It's terrible. So what if we rewrite that story? But we can't rewrite it in the moment. We have to rewrite it now. We have to be able to observe it and say, oh, that's what's going on. That's why I'm thinking that. This is what that sensation means, and how do I change it? Okay, so I'll tell you guys a story about Monday. We went to the mountains over the weekend. We were gone for 4 days. It was amazing. Mostly disconnected. Not totally, because my niece was trying to cut for a weightlifting meet, so we had to have some connection to her. So there was a little social media, but really just disconnected, which was amazing. Sunday night, my brain started shifting into all the things we needed to do, and I think for me, I have a massive hustle perfectionism thing that I'm working on, is that I always have to be working. And so whatever it was, the guilt, the shame, the overwhelm, whatever have you, came into play, where I was like, oh, we shouldn't have taken time off. Now we have to do blah, 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 right? Like, that's all here. That's all my brain. That's all my underlying belief that I have to be working all the time, whatever. So I woke up Monday morning and I said to Brian, I was like, God, I'm trying so hard not to get in an overwhelm. And just in a bad place, and I was crappy all day, right? And all day I was like, why am I like this? Thinking, like, right, how do I get out of this? How do I fix this? How do I blah, 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 blah? Why, instead of actually feeling into it and like letting my body tell me what was going on, right? So I got way back up in my head, which I have not been in a long time. Like, normally I wake up, I'm calm, I'm peaceful. There's just a sense of like whatever in my body. And it's just good. Like, I wake up in a good place, right? And so that day I was in a bad place all day. So then I had my call with my coaching certification team, and these women are amazing. And you just immediately your energetics raise, and we started with the meditation, and I was like, oh, I needed that, right? I needed to breathe. I needed to get back in my body. I needed to start feeling again and stop thinking. And so we got off the call, and one of my friends, Kyla, had posted a video about missing people at Christmas. And what I realized was that 14 years ago, on December 7th, I lost my grandma Phyllis. 4 years ago, right now, I was going through a miscarriage. And last year, on the 17th, I lost my other grandma. So there's a lot of emotions wrapped up in this time of year, and I wasn't dealing with them. I had said to Brianne the night before, I said, it's so weird that I still love this time of year, because it's my favorite time of year, even with all that bad stuff happening. Well, what I was doing is I was shoving those emotions down. I was not feeling them. I was not dealing with them. I was not connecting to my highest self. I was just pushing them away. And so my friend Kyla posted a video about missing people at Christmas, and I listened to it, and I was just bawling, right? Just totally bawling. And I was like, okay, so I needed to feel. I needed to stop thinking. It wasn't about the business. It wasn't about work. It was about something else, right? And so I actually let myself feel into it. I cried. We need those releases, you guys. Like, the goal of life is, yes, to be happy and serve others, but like, you have to feel the other side. You have to let yourself go there. So, whatever, had my little cry, felt better. And then we were going to bed, and I was really just struggling, and I started telling my girls about Grandma Phyllis. And we were really close. We had a really good relationship, and she was hit by a car crossing the street. She was 82 or 83 going to Bunko, and it was just a terrible, whatever. But she lived an amazing life. We were super close, and I was telling my girls about it. And so we were just kind of talking, laying in bed, and Sky says, I miss Grandma Phyllis. And that trigger just like hit me, and I started bawling. I was like, okay. And Carson's like, Mommy, are you okay? I'm like, I will be. So anyway, went through that, went to bed, woke up the next day, total calm in my body, total peace in my body. I needed that release. I needed to feel into it. I needed to stop pushing those emotions away. So ultimately, you guys, that's what we have to learn to do. Rosie, make me laugh. My brain needs to tell me to stop eating bad food and get back to CrossFit. Yeah, your body needs to tell you that, though. So we'll teach you how to do that. So my point of this, you guys, is that so many of you have been asking a little bit more about the Flow program, and it's hard to explain exactly what we're going to do. But basically that, we're going to teach you how to understand your body, get back into your body, identify what's going on in your life, what's running your life, learn how to heal that, learn how to move through that, learn how to get out of your brain into your body, and really all of those things will change everything in your life. I mean, everything. It will change your relationship with food. It'll change your relationship with your body. It will change your relationship to money. It'll change the relationship to yourself and all the things that you do and don't say to yourself. So that's what Flow is. It's a 4-month program. We're going to do a module every week, and then we'll do live coaching. You'll have kind of a playbook, if you will, to work on your own stuff. But it's really just diving into what makes you you, understanding your own emotionality, learning how to raise your energetics, learning how to identify what the highest version of you is, and then how to get there. So I know more of you have had questions about Flow. We do start January 3rd. And then it'll go for 4 months. So if you have questions on that program, let me know. But it was just, I had to jump on here today because listening to that lady, I was like, she's got some great advice and it makes sense, but it doesn't really work. So thinking about things, changing your mindset, that will work short term. But until you really identify that underlying belief and you work through how to change that belief, then you can change the action and then it will stick. So I will teach you all that stuff when we do Flow. So you guys are interested, let me know. But hope you had a great day. Let me know if this is helpful. If it was, comment, like it, share it. If there's somebody that you think in your life would really benefit this, I would love to have you do that. And just say hi. So hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. I'll talk to you soon.